Shalom, giving all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Peace to the hopeful elect of Israel, double honor to the apostles, the elders, and brethren. A great millstone and all like-minded brothers who are preaching the truth all around the earth. And to you few sisters out there, you Akhwath, who believe in the gospel of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, this is your brother Itazawan Bayah, bringing a quick short lesson. I won't be long. What you see on the screen here is, and I'm going to run this trailer for this film. This is a film from way back in the 70s. I think it was came out in 74, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Three the Hard Way, right? Has Fred Williamson, Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, okay? And this film came back into my memory, man. I remembered this film, and I remembered the diabolical scheme, if you will, of what was going on in the movie, where you had this really rich white cat who has this scientist he found here, the one you see in the white jacket. Just to give you the background on the film. Salakia, let me do this. Fair Use Act disclaimer. I'm not making any money off of this. I don't own any rights to the film or to the trailer or any of the music or the words that are used in this video clip. I'm not making any money off of this. It's for educational purposes only. Okay. So anyway, in this film, this mad scientist, if you will, comes up with some type of potion that he's going to use on, basically in the film, it doesn't say it, but basically on the Israelites, the blacks and the browns, as it's going to go on to say. So even back in Hollywood, in what they call black exploitation films, your Shaft, your Superfly, TNT Jackson, Coffee, all those types of films like that, this was considered one of those films of black exploitation. So in this film, and in black exploitation, if you're too young to understand that, it was always about so-called black people, Negroes, here in America fighting against the man, who was so-called white man, Mr. Charlie. We always played pimps and hustlers and dope dealers and dope addicts and hoes and bitches and all of that kind of shit, Max and so forth, in those black exploitation films. But in this particular film, these two here devise a plan to get rid of the Israelites in 3 cities. And I believe the cities were Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., which is famously known as Chocolate City, and I think Detroit. But anyway, that's the background of this film, and we'll watch 2 trailers of it, and then we'll get into some scriptures, okay? Lord willing, I can get this to work right. So listen to this. Now, this is from the 70s, so they always had a plan.
This little mixture of mine is as lethal as cyanide. It is selected as a ladybine perfume. Let us work on them. Black folks. Leave the rest of us alone. Just like sickle cell anemia, Mr. Clement. How fast does this stuff work? 72 hours at most. Did God 7 days to create the world? We can cleanse it. Just 3.
LA, Detroit, just you wait and see. They're gonna kill every one of you, black, brown, tan.
I'm gonna stop it right here. See, in this clip here, these evil doers, the wicked, okay, they had their own little army, to protect them, and I believe they had collected a bunch of jakes, man, and were using them for experiments to see what would kill black and brown people. Okay, so this is when the two heroes of the movie, go in to stop this guy and kill him. So they're fighting against their little army that they had. Okay. Slocky. Okay. And let's see if we can get to the next trailer. Slocky. So you see where that's going in that film. And Jim Brown, and for those who don't know, Jim Brown and what was his name? Fred Williamson, ex-professional football players. And Jim Kelly was a martial artist and also a professional tennis player, I believe. Okay. But in the film, they're the heroes who are trying to stop this sinister plan to get rid of all the blacks and browns and whatnot in those three cities. If you've never seen a movie, if you're young, I would say if you under, 40, maybe 45, somewhere in there like that, check it out so you can see the plot in it. Here's I think this is the other clip I wanted to run quickly, and then we'll read just a few scriptures to show you, okay?
Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, Jim Kelly. They do it their way. Three the hard way. 3 cities and 3 of us. 3 the hard way. We have a scientific institution.
And see, you see that eagle behind him, okay? And this is one of the jakes who escaped from the compound and got to his friend Jimmy to tell him the plot.
Kill us all. We gotta stop. Action explodes all over the place when the big 3 join forces to save their race. Brown, Williamson, Kelly. Rated R.
So that's it right there, okay? Esau, even in the 70s, was putting it in their movies, okay? So let's go to the first scripture and read a couple of scriptures, we'll be done. This is Genesis 27. I'll start at verse 38, as you can see. And it reads, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him, right? So we get the kingdom. And Esau got the fatness of the earth and the sword, by the sword, okay? And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort comfort himself. purposing to kill thee. Okay, I'll read that again. And these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. All right, so Esau wanted to kill his brother Jacob because he got the blessing of the kingdom. Okay, so all throughout the earth, Esau has been chasing Jacob, trying to get rid of him off the earth. Okay, let's read this real quick. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? That wicked is Esau, Edom. Okay, and we're the judges. Our faces have been covered over. The real Israelites. We'll move over to Habakkuk chapter 2. And let's just start at the top. And it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Right, this Bible, these books, these pages, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Right? That's the wickedness of the wicked. Okay? Esau, Edom. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, all his different crazy-ass philosophies. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death. And everywhere they go, they bring death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long into him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Right? Always going after something that doesn't belong to them, and put out all these different crazy policies and things, you know, basically to gain the whole world. Okay? Let me see if I can. Kind of hard to operate this damn thing with one hand. And let me just jump down verse 9. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. And that's what they do. They always want the highest places to live. Okay? They want to reach the highest point because they want to be greater than the Most High, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city with iniquity. And that's what they did, particularly over here on this side of the earth in the Western Hemisphere, man. They killed the natives here and spilled all their blood. Okay, the northern kingdom, you know, the tribes of Gad and Reuben, whom they call Native Americans, you know, okay, Seminole Indians, okay, and then later brought over here the southern kingdom in those slave ships and beat the hell out of them and killed them and hung them and cut them in pieces. And we know all the terrible things that he did, okay, but Esau has been chasing Jacob and trying to get you off the earth for a long, long time, okay? Let's look at Ezekiel 35. We might have to read all of this. I didn't mean for this to go this long, but moreover the word, this is Ezekiel 35 verse 1, moreover the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, right, Esau, Edom, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Because thou hast had what? A perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Right, he was given the power of the sword from Isaac, okay, his father, in the time of their calamity, in the time of our calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, they took it too far. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So the Lord's got this controversy that he's going to recompense, all right, the house of Esau for all the things that they did to the children of Israel, to Jacob. Okay, I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord Yahweh was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. Right, so the Lord is going to judge the house of Esau, all right, Mount Seir. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Right, they just want to kill us as much as possible and get us off the planet, thinking that they would get the birthright back. Okay, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice in the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, which is the Greek way of saying Edom, even all of it, and they shall know who they, the Idumeans, the people from Mount Seir, Esau, okay, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, okay. Lastly, we read a little bit of Obadiah. I'm going to end this. I didn't mean for this to go this long. Let's just go down to Obadiah 1 and 18, which we know. So I kind of want to go back up. Because I want to go, let me start at the top. It's a lot here. This old computer I got, man, it's kind of got a mind of its own, likes to move and do all kind of stupid stuff. All right, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Who? Edom, so-called white man. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwelt in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and you saw that eagle behind him in that trailer, right? And though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, thou shalt set thy nest among the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? I got to make sure I don't push this button because it'll end this thing. Oh boy. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are these hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, how even destroy the wise men of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau. See, the Lord is going to totally destroy them, even their men who think they're so wise, even their so-called scientists, their bioscientists and what have you, they're engineers, if you will. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay? In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the stranger carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. Right? But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity, yea, though thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Right. Stripped us bare, took everything, man. Neither should thou have stood in the crossways to cut off those of his that did escape, neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Right? The Lord is going to repay Esau, Edom, and he's going to give the children of Israel everything back. Okay? And the house of Jacob, verse 18, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. And I'm going to stop right there at verse 18. So we always look at this, and we know that these people have always had this hatred for us, and they put it in their movies. And they've always devised something, come up with something chemically, however they're spreading this, whether they're putting it in the actual bottled water, whether they're spraying it on the food, whether they're transmitting this through products and services, however, chemtrails, however they're doing it, they've always had a plan to get rid of Jake. Okay? And even in this 40-something-year-old movie, that was the plot of the movie. And I remember as a kid going to see this at the movies. You know, we went to the show to see this. And of course, you know, you really don't understand it. You're just looking at the action, the car crashes and the explosions and so forth. But now, you know, in the truth, you know, this thing came back to me. I don't know, it just did. It just came back to me because of all of the nonsense that's going on now with the vaccines and you know, the microchip is here, and, you know, they're still trying to devise a way to get rid of Jake. Okay? But anyway, that's all I had on this. It just was interesting to me. It came back to me. So if you haven't seen this movie, go, you know, it's on YouTube, obviously, or maybe you might be able to find it on Netflix. But you'll see the crazy concoction and the crazy thought process of the so-called white man, even in a movie, even in a black exploitation movie. Okay? So with that, hope this was edifying. And I'll end the lesson right there. Giving all praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.